Hello everyone, I'm FARMERSIM and welcome to my new series here on Witcombe Park Farm. I'm sure we're all aware of the struggles that all farmers are facing in this modern age: rising costs, reduced income, constantly changing government schemes and policies that some would say aren't worth the paper they're written on. Red tape, if you will. So, I thought I would do my very best using all the realism mods I could get my hands on to try and replicate as many of these struggles as I can and make this as hard as possible. I've got no idea if it's going to work or not. This is really going to put me and the game to the test. But nonetheless, I'm really excited to get into it. Welcome everybody to Growing the Dream.
And I won't waste it. I'll follow you, yeah. I'll follow you, yeah. I'll follow you, yeah.
Right, let's get this started, shall we, ladies and gentlemen? Welcome to this new series, Growing the Dream. So, first and foremost, looking at my hopper, I'm 85% full, and I don't want to turn around and start cutting into the next row. I may as well get the tractor and trailer over and get this bit unloaded. But yeah, one of the most challenging things I've found so far in setting up this save is playing the game and using things entirely differently to what I'm used to. It's been a challenge, it will be a challenge. I'll be honest, I'm a little bit overwhelmed, but I'm determined to give it a go. I've got so many mods running on this save now that I've never used before. I've wanted to use them for a very long time, but I just haven't found the correct opportunity to use them. I haven't wanted to suddenly bring them into a series halfway, the current series that I've had running, but starting from fresh and a new series with everything to make things as realistic as possible, I felt was the prime opportunity to give them all a go. And so far, the last 2.5-3 days I've spent of setting this save up since Oxy released the 1.3 update on Saturday, I think I've got everything running relatively well. First one is Interactive Control, a mod that I have wanted to use for a very, very long time. It blends itself perfectly to using Templeton Peck's Cab Cinematic mod, being able to open the doors and get out properly without merging through the doors. I've been a massive fan of Templeton Peck's Cab Cinematic mod since the day it came out. It's added the perfect level of realism into interacting with your vehicles. But obviously Interactive Control was there as well, and I just hadn't blended myself to using it, and now I have, and I've spent the last couple of days getting used to it, because you know what it's like. You get used to a way of playing, and you just kind of get set in your ways. And the one thing that was always bothering me was having vehicles for a start that didn't have the doors that opened. So that was something that was a bit of a letdown with the Cab Cinematic mod. But it's not just Cab Cinematic. I have got so many mods running on this save. It is quite overwhelming, like I said. Now I've got to give a massive shout out before I do get cracking. I mean, there's one example of an addition that my version of this map has. Check that out. We've got some Spitfires flying overhead with the soundtrack and all. I've got to give a huge shout out to two people in particular for their help and their time in setting up this save and this build for me. First and foremost, a massive shout out and a huge word of gratitude and thanks to David Van Mol, who has given me so much of his time and his help and his knowledge in setting up this save. We've added a whole load of new crops into this map. We've got the Spitfires in the air there, which is something. It's just a bit of immersion that flies overhead. Of course, we're in Gloucestershire in the UK. There's no doubt a good handful of RAF bases nearby, but yeah, some old Spitfires flying around in the air there, which is pretty cool. But yeah, we've got a good few handful of different crops compared to the standard version of the map. We've got lavender, we've got mint, we've got there's a few others as well. I'll go into those in a bit more detail, possibly in this video, but possibly in another one, because there's a lot to get through in this video. But yeah, mods. I mean, look at that now. On the right-hand side, the list of information that I've got on that right-hand side there. Some of it's to do with the vehicle, some of it's to do with the soil and the fields, because I've got the realistic soil and fertilizer mod running. Of course, we've got precision farming. I've got the moisture system, I've got red tape, I've got the advanced damage system. The list is almost endless. What I'm going to do, because I don't want to run through and just stand here and talk about every single mod that I've got running in this series at the minute, because that's almost a video in itself. So what I'm going to do is overlay an image now. There you go, on the screen. So if you're interested in getting copies of all these mods and knowing what I've got running, pause it here if you want, and you'll be able to see this image. And I will, of course, post links in the video description below of this video. Possibly in this one in episode 2, perhaps, but at least in this one anyway, because I know that's something that a lot of you folk like to get hold of if you're interested in following this series along. But yeah, the links to them all will be in the video description below. But yeah, as realistic as possible that I can manage within my bag of talent, which isn't particularly massive, I'll be perfectly honest. But it's things like this, being able to close the doors, being able to start the engine up, and all that kind of stuff. I've got the windows that can open, you've got stereos and light buttons and stuff. It's incredible. Where we are with Farming Simulator now, I feel, is absolutely brilliant. And advanced damage system, that's one I need to bring to your attention if you're not aware of it. Do check out the Farm Sim Guy's channel. He's uploaded so far a couple of videos on using this. Now there we go, listen to that. It's a bag of spanners, this tractor. It really is. It's got 532.7 hours. The red engine warning lights come on. Oh my word, service lights on. I kind of knew it because I used this vehicle yesterday to record a few more bits of my auto drive network on this map, and it flashed up with an error message saying this vehicle, the breakdown is imminent. I'm like, oh my god. I do have plans for it. I'm not going to be sticking with this tractor. I'm going to be treating myself to something new, but I can't pay for it at the minute anyway, because I've only got £75,000 in the bank. There we go. The engine is starting to overheat. This can happen for one of several reasons. The engine is under heavy load. It's not under heavy load yet, mate. There's nothing in the trailer. But yeah, I can only hope. What does it say here? Stay alert. Overheating is one of the most destructive factors for any machine. Oh, yeah. Right, okay. I'm just going to have to keep my fingers crossed that this doesn't give out, because I haven't actually got a plan for what happens if it does. We shall see. But firstly, we need to bring it to a stop. I've also got the more realistic game engine mod running, as you'll have seen from that list that I just posted before. So there's so many factors that I've got running in this game to make it as realistic as possible. Realistic livestock, Ritter's realistic livestock. These are mods that I've never really used before. I've wanted to, but I've never explored them. So this is genuinely, I'm not making this up, this is going to be a huge learning curve for me, in hoping that I can do something realistic and proper with this series, because this map has been, we've known about its release for quite some time now. It's out now for us PC players, at least anyway. It will be coming to the mod hub soon, but for now it's just out for PC. I'll put the link to Oxy's itch.io page, of course. Overload warning. Oh my god. The engine may not have enough power for the current task. Yeah. Oh, good lord. Right, do you know what? It really does sound like a bag of spanners, this, doesn't it? So let's just get out and leave that be for now. All I've got to do with this tractor initially is get this grain and this field done over into the silo, and then I'm going to be essentially, to cut a long story short, I'm going to be putting it up as a deposit on a new tractor, and I'm going to be using Ozzy's hire purchase mod in order to make that purchase. But anyway, so before I do crack on, we'll get into the cab. But yeah, the premise of this series is I have bought a struggling farm, essentially, and that struggling farm currently has a portfolio of land just over 52 acres, which is no real surprise that it's struggling, because, I mean, 52 acres. The fields aren't massive here on Witcombe Park Farm. There's a few big ones, but we don't own them yet, but that is a plan to consider for the near future. But yeah, the premise is I bought this struggling farm, I've got its equipment, and I've got its animals, and I've got its land. We've got 10 chickens, we've got 30 dairy cows, all Jersey cattle in a dairy barn down there. We've got 30 Hereford beef stock. We don't have a bull as of yet, so there's no reproduction going on. We've got 20 blue-faced Leicester sheep. Again, we don't have any rams in that pasture at the minute, but we do have, they're currently out in the pasture. The beef stock are currently out in a pasture, but we do have some barns to put the beef stock in, and they're young, and we do also have a sheep barn as well to put the sheep in for winter as well. Now, again, forgive me, this, I suppose a sure sign that I am overwhelmed with what I'm going to be talking about and thinking about in this series. The second person I need to give a massive shout out and a huge word of thank you to for their time and their effort and what they've done for me is, of course, my good mate Chimera. She has built me another incredible farm here on Witcombe Park Farm. It's a beautiful layout. We've got it's actually situated, it's spread out a little bit. We've got a main farmyard which is just over the hedge there, which we'll go and have a look at very shortly, and we also have behind us on the hill we have the sheep pasture and the cow barns, another section for cow barns, and that building that we see directly in front of us is the dairy barn that's got our jerseys in, and I've got a house just behind the farm there as well. So yeah, we'll go and have a look at the farm in a little bit more detail, but like I say, there's so much to take on board. I need to we're going to get rid of that tractor, of course. Hopefully it makes it to the to do what I need to do with it, but yeah, lots and lots to consider, lots to take on board. Right, let's power that on. Let's get the reel lifted up, and then we're going to crack on with this. But anyway, yeah, so let's get this harvest finished off. It's not going to take long. It's only going to take me a few more minutes. We'll get this sorted out. We'll get the equipment back to the farm. Hopefully get the grain out the trailer and into the silo before that tractor gives up the ghost. We shall see. But until then, I'll pick you up in a few moments' time. When the job's done, I can go and show you the farm. Right, there we go, all done. Now, bearing in mind the awful condition of that Fendt tractor, I think it's going to be best for me to bring the harvester to the tractor instead of the other way around. But did you see the dust particle effects that I was having then from the harvest? How cool was that? That is a result of NX Modding's Farm Kit mod. Now, he actually released that yesterday or the day before, I think it was. Yeah, it's absolutely brilliant. And why isn't my auger coming out there? Sometimes that button... There we go. Got it right. Got it right. But yeah, an incredible addition. That Farm Kit mod. But this is one of the reasons why it's taken me such a long time to get this save set up, because I wanted to make sure that I was reducing the chance of a mod conflict, because there's so many mods out there. Initially, for example, I had there's a mod called the Wet Ground Wheel Slip that obviously changed the physics of wheels in wet ground. So I had that mod running, and then NX Modding released his Farm Kit mod, and that also dealt heavily in the physics side of wet wheels, etc., etc. So with that in mind, that's why I then removed the Wet Ground Wheel Slip mod and then added in NX Modding's Farm Kit mod yesterday, because I didn't want to have two mods doing the same thing and then potentially causing a conflict, because that was one of the... As a content creator, it's one of the most frustrating things when you get started. You want to get recording, and then something gets in your way and you end up finding a problem or a hiccup or whatnot, and it can be quite difficult. So I wanted to make sure that I didn't have or that I had as few mod conflicts as possible, and up to now, touch wood, everything seems alright. Now, I'm going to be leaving this harvester in the field here because we also have the barley just over the hedge there. That needs to be done. But for now, we're just going to leave this here. But I bring up the interactive control, and we can fold in the hopper. It's just so cool being able to operate things properly in the cab with an actual designated button. Let's drop the header down. There we are. And then, for now, turn you off. How cool's that? Right, open the door. Thank you. It's just so cool. It really is. But it's having these... one of the things that I'm going to be doing is making sure that every vehicle that I use on this save will have interactive control. I don't want to use any tractor that doesn't have a door that opens or anything like that because I want to try and do things as realistic as possible. One of the other things that I'm going to be doing is always in cab. Whenever I'm in a vehicle, I'm always going to be in cab. Not going to be out, you know, the other view outside the cab or anything like that. I'm going to do my very best just to do everything as realistic as possible. I'm not going to keep repeating myself like that for you ladies and gentlemen out there, because that could get quite annoying. But yeah, you know where I'm going with it. So, right, in the moment of truth, let's see, because as I said before, let's see if this bag of spanners is going to get itself. It's only 61% full, but we just need to get this grain into the silo over on the farm. I mean, goodness me, it's got 240 horsepower, I think, this tractor. But my word, it's struggling already. I've got... Oh, come on. Like I said before, I don't have a plan for if this thing breaks down. I don't know what I'm going to do. So, fingers crossed it doesn't. I just need it to last 10 more minutes. I need to get to the farm, tip this grain, and then I think what I will actually have to do, because I wasn't going to do this initially, but get this to the shop, get it sold, put it up as a deposit against a new tractor. I've got one in mind. I'm excited to get it purchased. Because as I said before, you know, when I mentioned briefly the premise of this series is I bought the struggling farm, and I'm going to try my very best to turn it round and get it making a profit. But in order to do that, there's going to be an element of speculation to accumulate, isn't there, at the end of the day? Speculate to accumulate. So I'm going to have to get myself into some debt. We don't have everything that the farm needs at the minute. Come on, you. Any slight incline in the road with the weight of the grain behind me. It's really starting to struggle. Oh god, warning lights, engine warning lights, so at 97% engine load, 100% engine load. Right, if I put on cruise control, dial cruise control down to like 20 mile an hour, still doesn't make a difference. It's still at 100% engine load. Dial it down to 18, still at 100%. Yeah, well. So, on my left here is a little bit of the farm that Kim has built for me. This is currently where the Hereford beef stock reside. We will have a look at things in a little bit more detail. I think, oh goodness me, look at that, 114 degrees. This advanced damage system mod is incredible. I've not gone into huge amounts of detail in my own head, understanding how it works. All I know is that it's just an incredible bit of realism that the game has been lacking. Proper breakdowns. Oh, there's another rattle. Oh my word, that would be awful, wouldn't it? First episode of a series, and we go break down. Please don't break down. The other thing I've got to bear in mind is that there's you'll see in a minute, but when I get to my silo, I think I might actually have to reverse all the way around, because Kim has built me a challenging farm. It's very nicely laid out. It is. There it is, just on the right here. There's my silo. But I can only access that in reverse. There's one of our sheep barns. Or our sheep barn. We've only got the one. But there's no animals in there at the minute, because they're out in the pasture. But here we are. This is the yard. Oh, come on. Oh, you have got to be kidding me. that's foot to the floor. 3 miles an hour. Oh, good God. Join me as I break down live on episode 1. Workshop in there. I will go through everything that we've got on the farm, but I think what I'm going to have to do, I'm going to have to reverse right the way around there. This sounds terrible, doesn't it? See, this is another thing that's putting me to the test. Just reversing. In cab. Permanently. I've told myself I'm not going to be jumping out of cab, even if I get myself into a bit of a sticky situation, so I've got to really, really put myself to the test. He says, making an absolute dog's dinner of reversing around that corner. I'm almost about to hit that fence, that bit of the shed there, aren't I? Just made it a little bit too tight. Please don't let me down. Just get the grain into the silo, and then I can disconnect the trailer and get you sold. Come on. It should be us somewhere in the region of about here. We made it. We made it. Right, there we go. Hope I've positioned myself right. I hope this trailer doesn't bump into the silo up there. Oh, right. Done. Right, I'm going to give this tractor a little bit of sympathy now. Not going to make it pull that trailer anymore. Let's get you disconnected. Well, there's at least one sigh of relief anyway. So, yeah, before we do anything else, I'm going to get this down to the shop. If it makes it. Get it sold. So I'll see you down there in a couple of moments' time. Oh, there we are. Well, that is bad luck. Your Fendt... Oh, I'm going to bump into that. Oh, bugger. Your Fendt 824 Turbo Shift 40 is completely disabled and can no longer move under its own power. You can use a mobile workshop and perform a quick repair so the vehicle can make it to the workshop on its own. Otherwise, you will have to come up with some other way to recover it. Right, okay. At least tell me the door's still open. Yeah, right. Wonderful. Brilliant. Right. See you in a minute. I'll see what I can figure out here. Well, what a ridiculous faff that was, but the job is now almost done. We've got the dealership have come down. They've come to pick it up on the low loader. It's cost me £1,000 to get this thing out here. But that's what I kind of figured was the right thing to do. I could have just activated the mobile mechanic mod and just stood in front of it, pressed a button, spent a few quid and fixed it and got it moved. But I felt that wasn't really realistic in that respect. The damn thing had completely broken down, and I'm getting rid of it. I'm getting shut of it and starting again. Like I said, the premises I've taken over this farm and its equipment. This Fendt was on its last legs. And we've just experienced that, haven't we? Now, I want to give you a tour of the farm as well. There's so much, but with this thing happening right now, I need to deal with it as it's been put in front of me. So we need to get this dealt with, get down to the shop, I'll get this sold. It's worth next to nothing now that it's broken down. Whether this is a factor of the advanced damage system mod, I don't know. But when I was driving around in it yesterday, obviously I've done this thing. I've thrown in those work hours. This, you know, to make it old, because I'm going to be replacing it with something nice and shiny new. But as I was driving it around last night, the value of it was ticking down almost like at the pace of a second hand on a clock, for goodness sake. It was literally ticking down as I was running it. If I go into advanced damage system here, where are we, the Fendt Turbo Shift, this number was somewhere in about 20,000, or 22,500 I think it was worth, and now just after this morning's work it's now down to 2 now that it's broken down. But yeah, that value was ticking down at the pace of a second hand on a clock. So yeah, the idea was I was going to put it up as a deposit against a new tractor, but now that it's worth £2,000, it's just, well, there we go. I genuinely hadn't planned on it breaking down. I was hoping it would have made it down to the shop so I could get 20 odd grand for it, put that up as a deposit against my new tractor. So it's now going to cost me even more money. Like I said, I'm going to be using Oz's hire purchasing mod to make the purchase for my shiny new tractor, which I hope is going to be really, really cool. We'll get to that very, very soon. But yeah, like I said, normally the first episode of a new series tend to spend a load of time just walking around the farm, showing you what we've got, the equipment, the layout of the farm. I want to do that. I'm going to be doing that with this one because this farm that Kim has built for me it just feels great. It really does. It's a beautifully laid out yard. But we're going to do that in due course. It may now, as a result of this, knowing how long this episode is already where I am, it might not even be in this episode. We might leave that to the second episode. But yeah. Need to get this thing dealt with first, so let's get this thing down to the farm, down to the shop, sorry. I'm going to get a ride with the driver here, so I'll see you down there at a few moments time when I'll be signing some paperwork and getting myself into a fair bit of debt. Right, there we go, down at the shop. It's their problem now. I'm going to get that sold, get a couple of grand into the bank. But what I'm going to do very quickly, I'll try and do it very quickly here before we crack on and move on with this hire purchase for my new tractor. I'm just going to take a second, take a breath as it were now, and just run through with you that, like I briefly mentioned, the premise of the series, you know, buying into a struggling farm, but I want to give you a very quick rundown of what the plan is moving into the future. So I'll jump into the map PDA quickly first and show you the land portfolio that we have. So field 15 here is where we've just been working. That's where we've got the wheat harvested from. We also have field 19 here, that is barley, that is ready to harvest. This is currently where I parked the harvester before. It's a field of grass. We also have another field of grass here, field 8, and we have, these are the pastures here. There's the Hereford cattle pasture, the sheep pasture, and the dairy pasture here. There's the farm. We also do own field 4 over here, field 6, field 5 here, which is currently empty. If I go to the growth stages, that shows you where we're up to here. Yeah, so field 4 over here is lavender, a crop that is unique to this map and the version that David Van Mol helped me add into this map. I'm just waiting for it to load in. Does anyone else get that as well? There we go. So we've got lavender there. We've got mint in here. We've got an empty field here. We've got the barley, we've got the grass, got the wheat, we've got grass, and then we've got poppies in here as well. Now, what I mentioned in the very beginning of this video about farmers struggling in real life, in this instance, I wanted to try and replicate that as much as I could in respect of having to branch out and do different things. Instead of having just an arable farm with a bit of grass work, I felt it was to try and explore new avenues and try and get a bit more money into the bank. We've got the option to do that with this farm. So with the lavender and the mint and the poppies, we have the capacity on this map to make oils from those products and get a bit more money into the bank. Now, I don't own the oil processing production system yet. That's going to involve a bit of money. I think it's that one there, prime oil processing. That will cost £227,999. So I don't have that kind of money in the bank at the minute. As a result of this Fent breaking down, I'm going to need to spend more money on the deposit for the new tractor I'm going to buy very shortly. So already the plans have changed in that respect. Now, one of the other plans I had in mind, now this is my fault in a way, but it's what I had in mind for getting hold of some new land. Now, I'm running Ozzy's Red Tape mod as well. It's an extremely detailed mod. It's incredible, it really is, but I haven't been able to properly use it yet. I'll go into the menus and show you where we're at with this at the minute. Now, the only thing I've done so far is jump into and enroll into a couple of schemes. We have the natural grazing scheme here, which I'm assuming I'm going to receive some kind of payment for at some point. I don't know what that will be yet or how much it's going to be or when it arrives. And we also have the natural fertilizer scheme that I'm part of as well. But what this mod does offer is grants. You can apply for grants. Now, initially, because I've never used this mod properly, I've not gone into a huge amount of learning with this mod so far, I naively thought I would be able to apply for a grant and be able to purchase some new land. Unfortunately, I can't do that. The grants only work within the construction menu if you're looking to build new properties, cow barns, sheds, etc., etc. You can apply for a grant to pay for new construction, which makes sense, but I can't get more land using a grant. So with that in mind, I'm just going to have to go down the usual route of getting a loan within the game's financial system. So, because I do have something in mind, like I mentioned before, the farm currently has a portfolio of about just over 52 acres of land. And in my mind, it's no surprise that the farm has been struggling because the land there's not a huge amount of it and the fields aren't very big, etc, etc. So I do plan on getting a loan it's going to be a couple of £100,000 and buying in, I think in total actually it's going to be somewhere in the region of about £500,000 to get a loan for. It's about 450,000 roughly. But now that this vent has broken down and I'm going to need to put more money into it, I may end up getting a loan for about £500,000 just to float myself a little bit more money in the bank. Because I did briefly mention, I think earlier, that I don't have anything on the farm. The cows have got some food and they can graze on the grass, as have the sheep. But I don't have any total mixed ration on the farm. We don't have any bales. We don't have any silage bales or grass or hay bales or anything like that. Because I do have the moisture system mod running, which enables bale rotting, so everything essentially has a shelf life, as do other products, because I've also got Ritter's fresh mod running as well, which gives things a shelf life, which is, yeah, it's something that's I've been wanting to take advantage of, but this was the right opportunity to do it. So there's so many factors to think about. Do you see what I mean about feeling even remotely overwhelmed? Wanting to take on a series and start this, and with all these limitations and things to consider, has been like, wow, there's so many things to think about. Instead of just jumping a tractor, cultivate a field, plant it, job's done. There's so many things to think about. We've got the moisture system, we've got the realistic soil and fertilizer mod, which is a plethora of Microsoft Excel spreadsheets in of itself. So there's so much to do. So yeah, regardless of even planning about having a tractor breakdown in episode 1, that's where, you know, I've already had to start changing the initial plan that I had for this. But like I said, the initial idea is to work the land that we've got, but I'm going to have to speculate to accumulate, get into debt, get another loan, or get a loan, buy in some more land so we can at least attempt to make the farm profitable in the future. But there's also going to be another potential for another loan to buy into that prime oil processing production system. But I can't do that yet. Initially, the products that we've got that we'll be able to sell to that production system, the poppies, the lavender, the mint, etc., we'll just be selling them to that place for now, and see what we can do with that, what money we can make in. But initially, I need to go and get myself into debt. Oh my word.
Thanks for giving it a try. I hope your
How cool's that?
is smooth, enjoyable, and full of great moments.
Hey up, Oxy.
I'm Oxy, the
That's
creator of
mega.
this map.
Right,
Thanks for giving
I'm
it
going
a
to sort
try.
out some paperwork here, get into a bit of a hire purchase agreement,
And full of
and I'll
great
see you in a minute
moments.
with hopefully a
I'm
shiny new
Oxy,
tractor
the
outside.
creator of this map.
Here she is, ladies and gentlemen. What an absolute beauty. 300 horsepower of prime agricultural equipment. It's quite a special one, this, I must admit. It's an absolute beauty. Now, I'm just going to overlay on the screen now the hire purchasing agreement that I agreed to sign up for. I went for option 1, giving me a monthly cost of £6,659, a total cost of £264,808. There could have been, there was better ones that would have been more expensive ones, like the essentially, but I needed to consider that, like I mentioned before, I'm going to be planning on getting into further debt, further into the series, acquiring some new land. I still need to keep some money in the bank account for at least leasing equipment, because there's a couple of bits of kit that we haven't got at the minute. We haven't got a lime spreader, I don't have a windrower, and obviously, like I've mentioned 1 or 2 times before, as you've seen already, the way this has started has changed, because the value of that Fendt was meant to be 20-odd thousand quid, and I've only got £2,000 back for it as a result of its colossal breakdown. So it is what it is. But anyway, I just need to shut up, don't I, and just get cracking. There's those Spitfires again. But yeah, this is an absolute corker, this, it really is. But I have already noticed, and I'd love your feedback and your help, ladies and gentlemen, if you are, if you know what's happened here. This vehicle is, now forgive me, I should have jotted this down before I recorded this clip. It's a modded thing. If I jump into our vehicle menu, scroll right down. This is it here. It's by Finanzamtia. This is the one I've gone for, and it's got so much detail. It's an absolute beauty, it really is. But some of the interactive control icons have suddenly stopped working. When I was setting this save up, when I was planning what I was going to do and what I was going to be purchasing, etc., I bought this thing, and it's got the interactive control things to be able to open the bonnet, to lift the bonnet here and lift it up, and there's also a panel there that you can remove. You see where that black tab is there and where that black button is there? There's usually an IC icon there, so I can click it and the button and the bonnet lifts up, but for some reason it's gone, and there's one or two that are missing from in the cab as well. There's also these you've got the def tank and the petrol tank here. You can usually click on them and you can see them visibly unscrew and drop off. For some reason, and I literally don't know what's happened, but some of them have gone. But that was one of the reasons why I really wanted this, because it was absolutely crammed with so much detail. I mean, you've got this one, for example. It's got hydraulic front suspension. Even with the motor off, you can just release the hydraulics, release the pressure, and drop the front suspension down, which is way cool. It's got this agri bumper mounted on the front that you can remove or bring back at the click of a button. But yeah, it's an absolute corker, this. It really is. And this particular mod as well, you can customize the interior. So I've gone for a nice dark interior instead of that usual light colour. Hides the dirt, doesn't it? But if I bring up all the interactive control icons again, it's missing loads. You can fold in and out this passenger seat, which I can't seem to do anymore. You can fold the armrest. You can fold in and out and move the steering wheel. You've got the indicator stalks. They're all missing, so I'm really confused by that. So if anyone does have any information and can possibly shed some light onto that, I'd be greatly appreciative. But either way, it still works fine. It's all good. Can't complain and all that. It's a beauty. But look at that, you even get your name on the screen as well. But yeah, dashboard live, all that kind of stuff. So we've got the map visible on one of the monitors here. You can remove the monitors. It's just, this level of detail is just absolutely brilliant. You've got the iPhone there on the right-hand side of the main screen. You can operate the hydraulic suspension from that one as well. Hazards, lights and all that kind of stuff. But yeah. I mean, but it's also missing some off this CB radio unit as well. It's got some icons on here, or it did have, where you click on them and you hear the CB radio like crackle into life. But anyway, a quick introduction to the cab of my new office. But yeah, very happy with this. So, anyway, like I did say before, I need to shut up a bit, don't I? And go and crack on with some work. We need to go and finish off the harvesting. We've got that barley to get cut. We've got some straw to pick up. That won't be happening until the next episode. We've got plenty to do. But yeah, so let's get back to the farm now and get cracking on with a bit more work. One of the other things that I do end up doing quite regularly is turning off the traffic. So it's a bit of a pain down here at this area of the map anyway, because they keep on bunching up and stopping and overtaking each other and just coming to a complete standstill. And causing loads and loads of tailbacks, so now and again I keep having to turn them off, but so far it seems alright this time round anyway. We're having the motorcycles riding around the map as well. We've got tractors riding around the map as the AI traffic as well. It's really cool. Articulated lorries. The detail and the work that Oxy has put into this map is staggering, quite frankly. Anyway, like I said, back to the farm. Need to get on with this next barley harvest. Right then, got the trailer back attached to this new one anyway. Hey up, try and keep myself on the road. But another just one of the many things that I've now got to be mindful of. If you have a look at the speedometer, bottom right hand corner, there's a percentage number on the left hand side next to the speed that we're doing. And that's the engine load. This is now down to the advanced damage system, and it's just something that makes it's another thing to be mindful of. Engine load and the actual percentage of work that you're putting on the engine every time your foot's on the accelerator. So ordinarily, where if I had auto drive running, or if it was just me, you just put your foot down and go for it. But if you run at 100% engine load all the time, you increase the damage and the wear on the engine. And then it ends up costing you more money and more maintenance. So it's another of the many things that I've now got to think about while running on this series. Now, I've just brought myself into here for now just to make my life a little bit easier. but we'll keep it running, because you get advanced damage system tells you off as well for turning your engine off and on again and off and on again. You wear the starter motor out, which is that level of detail I think is absolutely brilliant. It really is. So my missing interactive control icons haven't come back, unfortunately. But right, anyway, so I'm going to get cracking with this barley harvest. It shouldn't take too long, because like I said before, the fields aren't massive, but this one is the larger of the two arable cereal crops that we had to cut. Yeah, we've got so much information to take on board now. Soil nutrients there, we can see this is part of the realistic soil and fertilizer mod. We've got nitrogen, potassium, and a few other things to consider. I'll bring up the menu actually for that. I'll bring up that now. We've got the soil and fertilizer settings here, all the different things you can go into. It's incredible, it really is. The map overlay, I suppose this is which is the one I want to bring up. Let's get rid of that a minute. And it's the soil heads-up display that we've got there. And ordinarily I like to play with as few things on the screen as possible, but now I'm forcing myself to play in exactly the opposite way. But you get so much more detail now. I have reduced the size of that. Those of you who are watching on small screens like phones and stuff, I do apologise. I'd imagine that would be quite difficult to read, but personally I always reduce the size of my heads-up display, just because I hate playing with HUDs on, I suppose. But yeah, like I say, getting used to doing things entirely differently now for the purposes of this series. But yeah, so much information to take on board. It really is incredible. Anyway, I do a lot of talking. I have done in this episode so far, haven't I, ladies and gentlemen? So, let's get cracking though. Get on with this second harvest. Get the barley cut. Where are we? Engine on. Get it warmed up. Another thing I've got to get used to doing. Wait for that coolant temperature to get to the right colour before we crack on. Let's pick the header up. Get it unfolded. Oh, so cool. It really is. Right, come on. Let's get harvesting.
Hold on, darling, don't let me down. Hope that you feel it too. Just give me a sign, 'cause I know it ain't over. You feel it too, right? So until next time, hold on, darling, don't let me go. I wanna see if you're the soul, just hold me close, 'cause I know it ain't over. You feel it too, right? So until next time. Lost in the crowd, but yeah, you drown out the sound. I wish I knew what you were thinking about. Is this thing in my head delusional till I die, babe? At least we stand a chance then, right? It's been years and it still kills me. Your dynamite, so pretty. Hold on, darling, don't let me down. Hope that you feel it too. Just give me a sign, 'cause I know it ain't over. You feel it too, right? So until next time, hold on, darling, don't let me go. I wanna see if you're the soul, just hold me close, 'cause I know it ain't over. You feel it too, right? So until next time, I'll leave alone and just like that I'm back to being sober. We'll leave it all aside, 'cause this way will never be over. You leave alone and just like that you're back to being sober. You feel it too, right? So until next time.
Right then, let's get the last of it out the combine here. There's not much in there, only a few thousand litres, but I know I said this is going to be something of a struggle, but it really, really is. So, in this episode, we've harvested the wheat field and this barley field. Now, they're not massive, I appreciate that, but the money that they are worth, the crops that we've now got in the silo, It's not a huge amount of money, and one of the reasons why is because I'm running Mark Thor's realistic economy mod on top of the plethora of other realistic mods that I've got going. So if I just jump into the menus and jump into time-saving stock check, so just as near as makes no difference, 21,000 litres of barley are currently over there. We've still got what's behind us. What have we got behind us now? 8,063 litres, so yeah, there we go. But what we currently have over there, 21,000 litres of barley, max value, £4,827. The wheat that we put in there, we've got just under 13,000 litres. That's worth 3,200 quid. So 4, 5, 6, 7. Got about 8 grand's worth of grain in there at the minute, plus what we've got behind us. So that's not a huge amount of money, is it, realistically? So that's why the idea I've got in my head of where we go forward with this is to diversify and do different things. So that's why we've got the lavender, the poppy. I mean, the poppies are part of the map anyway, but the lavender, we've got poppies on the farm to harvest, and mint as well, a new crop. Now they're worth reasonable money when they're processed into their oil next stage. So, but I'm not going to be able to do anything with that until I can buy and get hold of the processing plant. So it is what it is. So if we jump into the fruit types and just have a look at the prices. So where are we? Lavender, we've got that to harvest. That's going to be done in the next episode, next month, sorry. That's ready to harvest with the poppies and the mint. That's for next month. Best price for lavender is £167. But lavender oil, if we go down a little bit further and have a look at that, lavender oil at its best sell price, that's 1,800 quid. So there's a huge markup on that. So I need to take advantage of that because, and plus the mint as well. Whereas mint oil, for example, 1,800 quid. Poppy oil is £3,600. Now, I mean hard economic difficulty here. Just to show you there, if I go to my settings, I mean hard economic difficulty plus the realistic economy mod from Mark Thor. Like I said, to try and make it as hard as physically possible for me. So, yeah, that's the idea. Anyway, I'm going to turn that off and jump out of here very quickly because just before I hit record on this particular clip, as the harvester was coming to a stop, I got a notification from Advanced Damage System saying that the radiator is clogged on this thing. And you'd expect that after the work that we've just done in the field there with the with all that dust kicking up. Let's turn the engine off for that. There we are. And jump back out again. Now, this particular, one of the reasons why I'm doing this now, this particular harvester is absolutely brilliant. It's got so many. I mean, this one's working fine. All the interactive control icons are working absolutely fine for this one. But for some reason, some of the ones are missing on that one. And I don't fully understand why. But the radiator is clogged. Now, what you can do with Advanced Damage System, if I walk up to the vehicle and hold R, there we go. You'll see that performing visual inspection. Takes a second or two, but once you get to it, it brings up a little brief report. Radiator and air intake duct are heavily clogged, which is so cool. The fact that it's noticed the fact that we've been out in the field working, running a harvest, plus that dust, it has properly clogged it up. So we can go and, excuse me, deal with that. But check this out. We can bring this down. Now, this harvester is made by the same modder who made the John Deere that I've got over there. Forgive me, I need to jump into the menus and just read his name. Finanzamt, I believe. I'll post links to these mods in the video description below. But what I need to do, safety first, bring up that safety rail. But this is just so cool. To be able to perform this little bit of maintenance out in the field, I think is absolutely brilliant. Now, with Advanced Damage Systems, it does come with a handful of hand tools that you can buy from the miscellaneous section. But if I bring up, that's the moisture meter, that's my chainsaw, that's my torch. Here is the air blower. So now, I know that's the air filter there. Let's give that a blowing out. Fingers crossed this does what I want it to do. But the radiator, if I'm right in saying, is usually here. Now on some mods you can see the radiator spinning there, but you can't actually see that in here. So I'm going to but I'm pretty sure that's where it's meant to be, isn't it? So let's just give that a blowing out. I can't actually see any more dust kicking up as a result of doing this now. So that might be job done. Possibly. Let's put that away. Hit R again. Get another visual inspection up. Hey, there we go. Air intake duct and radiator are now unclogged. I mean, how cool is that? It is, isn't it? So let's drop that bonnet. Pop down the safety rail. There we go. And clamber back down. But these little things here are what that other tractor over there should have, I think. So anyway, let's climb down. Pop that ladder back up. Job's a good one. But yeah, you can get into all the nooks and crannies of this particular harvester. It's so cool. It really is. Realism is key, ladies and gentlemen. So, let's jump back in. Fire it up. I think what I'll do, I'll just spend a few moments here now. Getting all this lot tidied up. Moved over, taken back to the farm. Let's pull that auger in. Sometimes doesn't always work first time. There we go. And we're in, that's better. So yeah, I'm going to get everything tidied up here. And I'll see you back at the farm in a moment or two's time. Right, then here's the last of it. Let's get it tipped in. There we are. Oh, goodness me. Let's see what we've got in total then, shall we? So, back into time-saving stock check. Barley. £6,681 plus 3,264. So 10 grand pretty much, give or take. 10 grand's worth of grain from those two fields. It's not an awful lot, is it, when you think about it? Like I said at the very beginning, the price is the income that farmers are getting now for their grain. Don't get me wrong. I know we didn't just harvest acres and acres of field there. I appreciate that, but still, it's not a lot of money, is it? Let's be honest. Right. Anyway, while we're here, let's just jump out, and I'll give you a very, very quick tour of the of where we are now on the farm, because I know it does seem to be commonplace, doesn't it, in the first episode of a series. So, this incredible farm that Kim has laid out for me. We've got some storage sheds here. We have my manure spreader here. Nice, old and battered. Again, I've done all this, obviously, because the premise was to have bought into this struggling farm. Obviously, we've seen the silo around the side here. Kim did do it relatively on purpose, making it a bit of a challenge for me to get to, so I've got to reverse into that, but it's all good. It's all good. I can kind of get my way up the hill there and reverse my way down. Up the hill here, we have one of our fields. This is a grass field, and then you can just see that lovely red there. We've got the poppy field, which will be ready to harvest next month. So we've got that to look forward to, plus the lavender and the mint. I'm not going to be going over and showing you those mint and lavender fields just yet. We'll probably do that in the next episode. But a bit of kit we've got in the shed here. We've got a nice, simple but effective field roller there. We have our cultivator. We've got a tedder, and we've got a front and rear mower set up there that can be run on our little Massey Ferguson tractor, which is just in the doorway there. You've met the Claas Trion already, of course, and we've got the Jaguar 900 forage harvester as well. Now, this is how we'll be dealing with our lavender and our mint. So, yeah, that's what we'll be using. We'll be cutting those with this nice, relatively old school, because I do have vehicle years on. Now, this is I think it's a 1992. You do need vehicle years in order to make advanced damage system work, you see. So, it's really quite cool. I like that. Got a tank for some liquid fertilizer or herbicide. In this shed here, we have our seed drill. We have a sprayer, Cavernaland X-Track, iX-Track, I think it's called, sprayer. And, of course, we've got the header for the combine harvester there. And in our little workshop shed here, we have our little tractor here, the Massey Ferguson 5S. It's a lovely little thing. Doesn't have as many IC controls as the other ones do, but at least I can open the doors and get in. And that's all I wanted for the machinery that I've got on this series. And of course, Ross N Mods' JCB load all. This does have the ICs for the doors, but it only seems to work from the inside. I'll show you that. Bring up the controls, but yeah, you can open the door. Half, like stable door perhaps, but yeah, either way, it's still pretty cool. Ross N Mods' JCB load alt, perfect for this series. And then over here we have our workshop trigger if I wanted to do some work on some vehicles. I've got a bit of stuff just scattered around, of course, with it being a farm that I've taken on. All the shelves are empty though. We've got a few shelving racks here. We've got one in here, a couple in here, and a couple over there. We don't have any seed or fertilizer or lime or anything owned on the farm. All of this has got to be paid for as and when we need it. So all that to come. And now if I nip round the corner, because I do have a couple of the hand use tools as well. We've got this trailer here, the grain cart, because around the side is my house and where my chickens currently reside. There's this lovely old kind of Tudorish house here. It's not one I can go in or anything like that, but I've got a sleep trigger outside. But here's our field of mint, and there's our field of lavender. How cool do they look, eh? Not quite ready to harvest yet. Growth stage 4 or 5. Now, I've not done any work when it comes to the nitrogen and the pH values. But the field moisture seems to be exactly roughly where it needs to be, between 6 and 18%. Currently at 14.6%. But it is something I've got to get used to. There's so much more information to take on board now while playing Farming Simulator. It's a real big wake-up for me, I suppose. A bit of a shake-up and whatnot to get used to. But here is our little chicken coop over here. And there's my house and my sleep trigger there at that bench. And what I do also have around here is a little raspberry farm. A little raspberry growing area. Raspberry garden, that was the word I was looking for. So yeah, should hopefully be able to get a little bit of money from this. And I've got a few of the hand tools here. We've got this pallet moving bit of machinery here for when the pallets do spawn of the raspberries. And we do also have this water bowser here to be able to fill up with water, because that's what this raspberry garden needs. It needs water and seeds and spits out raspberries out the other side. It'll take a bit of time for stuff to produce, of course, but again, need every little bit of income we can get our hands on this farm, especially into the future. Obviously, I'm already now, as near as makes no difference, £250,000 in debt, and I plan on getting twice that again if I'm going to make a purchase of some more land. But we'll be doing that in the future, that's for sure. Not quite yet. We may end up doing that in the next episode, actually, thinking about it. We shall see. But either way, yeah, a very, very quick whistle-stop tour of this area of the farm. We have, I did drive past it before, didn't I? But we've got the area where the beef stock are, up in the distance over there. We will have a look around that in the next episode. And this area here is where our sheep will be living in the winter. We've got a sheep barn here. And there is a barn down here that's full of crap at the minute, it looks like. There's all sorts of stuff in here that I'm going to need to clear out. Loads of junk, loads of old bales and whatnot. These are just decorational, of course, but still need to clear this out so I can make some use of this barn. Need some more equipment to put in there, of course, first. And if I just take a quick hop over the fence here, we can have a quick walk past of our Jersey dairy cattle that we have in the pasture here. We've got 30 of these ladies here at the minute. I don't have any bull, like I mentioned before. We don't have a bull. I haven't got a bull in here. I don't have a bull in the Herefords, and I haven't got any rams in the sheep pasture. They look all a bit like they're all in one side over here, aren't they? Just looked a bit odd then. But yeah, so I've got to make a purchase of at least a couple of rams, perhaps, for the Blue Leicesters, and for the Herefords and for the Jerseys as well. But yeah, this is our dairy cow shed. And if we walk around the corner, we've got a manure bunker there that's already got a little bit of manure in, so we can start taking advantage of what we got. 750 litres, so nothing to really write home about. And then round the side here, we have another shed with a few more bits of equipment in. We've got some more empty shelving. I've got my feed mixer, and we have an animal trailer, the IFA Williams TA510T livestock trailer. We've got a straw blower, and we have our baler. And that is pretty much it, apart from my Richard Weston bale trailer here. Again, we'll be sorting things out, loading our bales and stuff with this, because one of the other things I don't have running on this save, as I usually do on other saves, because like I keep saying, I want to be aiming for realism. So I have no auto load. I don't have any auto loading bale forks or tools or anything like that. Everything I'm doing here on this series will be manual. God help me. So yeah, I can't cheat, or I can't give myself an easy life in that respect. Everything's got to be done properly. So yeah, it's going to really be really shake me up, and well, it's going to be good practice, isn't it? At the end of the day, I think more than anything, good practice to get working with the no auto load or anything like that. So yeah, I am really looking forward to getting my teeth into this series, ladies and gentlemen, I must admit. See what we can do with the farm, see if we can get it profitable in a very long time. I've got a long way to go before that, though, haven't I? Paying off all these debts that I've got into today, and will be getting into in the future. But I tell you what, though, I'm really happy with this lovely John Deere. Now, to me, this is perfectly realistic, because I live in... one of the reasons why I wanted to go for this particular one, this John Deere 6R, I know this is realistic because I live in Cheshire, and there's a handful of these that rumble through the village almost every day, dragging some slurry tankers. I see them all the time, so I know a John Deere 6R is a perfect size tractor for this map. So yeah, that's why I've gone for this one, which is nicely decorated. It's got some lovely features, but I just wish that bonnet opening catch had come back. I have no idea why it's gone away. It's driven me a little bit mad, that one, I must admit, since buying it. I did do some testing before. When I bought the vehicle, I was like, where's all these triggers gone? So I came in and out the game a handful of times. I bought several different variants of this, and all to no avail. The triggers to open the bonnet just seem to have disappeared. You can open that bit there, and you can also remove a side panel off the bonnet lid there as well. So a little bit frustrating, but maybe I'll get to the bottom of it. But like I said before, if any of you do have any tips and tricks for me there, I've been through all the menus and all that kind of stuff. There's no explanation as to why some of the IC controls have gone, but yet most of them have stayed back. But like I say, the foldable steering wheel option isn't there anymore. The indicators have gone. That's gone. So and the lids for the DEF tank and the petrol tanks and the diesel tank, sorry, have vanished as well. But it is a lovely thing, isn't it? Let's be honest. It's a beautiful tractor, it really is. So, anyway, enough of my voice for today, ladies and gentlemen. I'm sure you're sick of it already, but I do hope you have enjoyed this introduction to this new series. Excuse me. Definitely time for me to stop talking. My throat's going. But yeah, so I do hope you have enjoyed this first episode, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you very much for watching. I really do hope you have enjoyed it. I hope you're looking forward to the next one as much as I am. So, as far as that goes, I'm going to call it here for this episode. So if you're new to the channel and you have enjoyed the video and you like the way I'm doing things, please consider hitting that subscribe button and jump on board and joining the channel. Please hit that like button too, as it does do wonders. It helps the YouTube algorithm do its thing. And if you like the idea of supporting the channel, there are a couple of ways you can do that. There is my Giants Partner promo code, if any of you are in the market for Farming Simulator 25 or any of its add-ons or DLCs. There is coffee.com, if you'd like to buy me a coffee. And there is also my G-Portal affiliate link, if any of you are in the market for an online server to play with your mates. Any help and support there would be hugely appreciated. So, thanks again for your time again, ladies and gentlemen. Take care, and I'll see you in the next one.